Welcome to Lily Building Company, Building the Future, Repairing the Past, episode number 1. So it's safe to say that we are pretty busy, especially for this time of year. Our expert construction team's out in the field, our back office staff, which is admin, accounts, remote project management staff, and our expert CRM and project management software are certainly keeping us ahead of the curve. So let's go and have a look at what we're up to this week. Project main update. Can't remember what week we're in, but we're very, very close to completion. The brickies are finished, the main part of the structure, the gable's up, trusses are on. We're a couple of days away from the roofers starting and then starting to get this building watertight, ready for fit out on the inside. This particular truss is called a Fink truss. See the extra bracing that's in the middle there? That means that this can be used for storage and storage only, but for quite a decent amount of storage as well. So the building itself will be rendered on completion. It's been a great project this, and because it's all block work, the turnaround time's been really quick. But it's not come without its problems, and I'm not sure, you can't see from here, but on the opposite side, elevation coming through there, is the gas main that enters the main part of the property. Now, when we knocked the original annex down, that was attached to the annex. There's been an application in with the people that own that gas pipe and that gas main for quite a while. We feel like they're dragging the heels a little bit. However, these authorities, the people that own the water mains, the gas mains, the electric mains, do have design, but they don't have design for everything. And when we first put the application in, the response that we got from them was that that connection was on no design. There was no record of a gas connection for this property. So it's meant quite a complicated process that we've gone through and still going through. It's not going to stop us getting the roof on, it's not going to stop us getting watertight, it's not going to stop us rendering the main part of the building, but I think we are going to end up having to come back and render that at a later date. But overall, I'm really impressed with how this one's gone. The lads have worked really hard. We've managed to get the building up nice and quick, and looking forward to that next step, which will be getting the roof on. Big day today, Project Duffield, because the hydropool former is going in. We're just waiting for the crane. The A50 shut. There's been loads of traffic problems around the area today, and it's raining, but that's not going to stop play. So really interested on this one, because the hydropool formers, I love cranes, and when you do a big lift, we always think about this front end. And the thing that I thought about most was, how did he get the straps out? So I thought, well, do we have to put like a scaffold through and then take the scaffold out? Or do we put it on timbers and then try and pull the timbers out? They lay it on ice. So, crane's going to be setting up in about 15 minutes, hopefully should arrive, get that rigged up. And then we're going to lift right over where the boys are up there at the moment, all the way over that scaffold line. Former goes in, sat on ice, the ice then melts, and it finds its own footing, so it levels itself out from that point. The scaffs are in, getting ready to get up to next lift. The brickies are in way, excited for the rain to stop and to get laying again. Lots and lots going on this project. Again, lovely to see Duffield developing and moving day on day and week on week. on this one, I think which side is going in. Yeah. So Project Kings was here at the start of the week. We're now in to the second day of the week, and we're thermal upgrading, insulating these walls using 100mm PIR board, and then we've got insulated plasterboard to go over the face. Floor is now down complete. Again, that's got insulation in between these floor timbers over there. Young Lewis is finishing that wall. We've had all of the information come through this morning for the windows, the doors, etc. So that order has now been placed. Over here, Danny's trying to run away. It's going to be on YouTube or Instagram. It's not through his form. This will allow our client to get access into this garage conversion. Next steps on this one: insulated plasterboard on the perimeter, windows going in, ceiling is going to be boarded and skimmed, electrics are now in, and then on that storage area there again, we have got ceiling being plasterboarded in there and skimmed as well. Window to go in, new garage door in order. I think there's a real gap in the market because that garage door is going to take about 5 weeks to come. What a great Christmas present for our client. Very big day today in Duffield because the hydropool former is going in. We've got a big boy's toy. Love getting cranes on site. It's not very often that we get the opportunity to put cranes into projects nowadays. Back when I was main contracting, used to be cranes on a regular basis. But the hydropool itself, that former over there, we've had to really meticulously plan this lifting for a few reasons really. First of all, access into site. It's quite tight. We're on a residential street. We've planned it in that before we get to roof height and before we get to that final lift for scaffold, we can get the maximum reach on this size crane, which is 26 metres, which literally gets us to that pinpoint. And within that, we're not then affecting any of the trees, we're not then over affecting any of the residents, and we're not stopping production on site because programme is always pivotal. And no exception here of how this has been planned for that to go in, and also for when we start fitting out the top element of it as well. So we've basically built a big blockwork structure on the outside which sits on a raft foundation. The former sits within that raft, and then we've got a timber frame building that gets built around that enclosure as well. It's all decked out inside. I paid a visit to Cabin Master, who were the supplier for this a couple of weeks, and I was really impressed with the product that they've got up there and what they do as a business, and hopefully it's the start of a really positive relationship for us because this is the first on these that we've done. So I must admit, a bit of anxiety building the base on that and getting the block working and making sure that it was bang on exactly what they required and what they needed for it. So we've had them come out site a couple of times, a couple of meetings. We're happy and they're happy. So today is the very important part of the day. So let's go and see how the lift goes. The sun is shining. It's Monday. It's a far cry from last week. I was at a festival in Birmingham on Friday, which I will say I'm grateful because it was inside. I was there Friday and Saturday actually, but certainly grateful to have dodged the rain. Down at Project West, which we started last week, single story extension project. The lads have taken down the conservatory and are cracking on with foundations and drainage. So let's take a little look at what we've got. So, spinning round, beautiful location, the A50, just over that side over there. And all of this land here floods quite badly. We get water that washes off that field and literally comes straight through these guys' garden. And for that, we've put extra provisions in for drainage in their garden. We've taken down the conservatory. We're just starting to reduce levels, dig the earth through here and working around their existing drainage, soak away and foundation. So where the conservatory sat before, there's a 500mm deep strip foundation on there that we're hoping the structural engineer is going to let us reuse and then dig in front of and put widen that so we can get our cavity wall on. And we've got new walls going down here, new walls going into there, drainage provision across this front for gullies and eco drains coming through, and eco drains popping around that side and linking into the existing eco drains, and all of that then falls out to the front, which is to the main road down here in this wonderful village. So nice to get down here. Just talk through the setting out. So where we've got these lines in place at the moment, that's setting out our dig line, and then we'll dig, we'll pour, and then we'll set out the masonry. So really happy that this is going, and the lads have really cracked on getting this conservatory down and starting to get this ready for pour. So I'm hoping we can potentially pour this before the end of the week. So, and there we have it, the boys grafting through the wet, the damp and the cold to get the roof on for our valued customer down at Project Main. Go on the boys. And there we have it. Lily Building Company, building the future, repairing the past. Episode number 1 is wrapped. We started off with Project Main. The brickies were finishing, getting the gables up on that. We then flew over to Project Duffield, where we were waiting around for the crane. We had the scaffs in there, the brickies in there, the hydropool people waiting to land it. We then went to Project Kings, where our team are working on that fantastic little garage conversion, re-roof, new windows, new fascia and soffits, a lot going on that one. We then jumped back to Duffield for the hydropool former being installed by that big old 40-ton crane. I then took you on a little bit of a selfie journey into Project West, single story extension project down there. Then we went over to Project Main to finish up the end of the week with the lads getting that roof on, where I put in that little bit of wobbly and clunky drone footage, but that's what it's all about. Behind the scenes, warts and all, open, authentic and honest approach to construction. I am getting better at the drone, although those that follow me on my personal pages and on the Men's Conch Collective page will notice that I did have a little bit of a drone fail over the weekend when I let the drone go up into the air and I tripped over, which has made quite a few people laugh, and I'm happy about that. So it's been a great week. I really hope that you've enjoyed this first episode. Lots more to come as well. And I've probably only shown you 4 projects this week, probably out of about 8 or 9. So next episode, we are going to be looking at some new stuff. We've got some great stuff. We've got a project literally just down the road from Project West, which we've started this week. And I'm really keen to show you that one on episode number 2. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a fantastic weekend. And we'll see you next time. Take care.